Elimination Chamber is coming up in just a couple of days, and on From the Rafters Radio we had this discussion you can listen to on Ustream Live every week. You can also check it out at WrestlingSmash.com. We want to thank those guys for a new partnership. Greg DeMarco, of course, behind that effort, and we do appreciate the relationship that we are establishing with the good folks there at WrestlingSmash.com. But I want to jump right into things, and the pre-show match, the YouTube match, is going to be the once again reformed team of Rhodes Scholars, of course Cody Rhodes and Damian Sandow, taking on the newly formed team of Brodus Clay and Tensai. I'm not going to get into my whole tag team wrestling rant at this point, but I would anticipate, since they keep saying that Team Rhodes Scholars seems to have split off, it would only make sense for the newly established team to go over in this matchup. So I am picking Brodus Clay and Tensai to pick up the win there. Antonio Cesaro once again defends the United States Championship against The Miz. This is a rematch from the Royal Rumble, which was on the YouTube show last month. I look for Antonio to retain the championship. I really want to see him have a dominant run as U.S. champion. I know he has been doing very well since winning the title back at SummerSlam. I interviewed him last week on the phone, a great guy to talk to, and he reminded me of something, that he is currently the longest reigning champion in the WWE right now. So congratulations to him on that, and I look for him to continue his dominance as the United States champion. Tamina Snuka gets a shot at the Divas Championship, and while against Caitlyn, and while I don't dislike either one of these divas, and I think besides Natalya Neidhart, Tamina Snuka is probably the most gifted diva in the WWE right now, I don't see her winning the championship just yet. So I think that Caitlyn, she just won the title. I want to see her kind of get some more title defenses under her belt. And I also want to see them bring in some more variety into the Divas division. It seems like, specifically with the Divas division, although I see it happening quite often with a lot of different championships, it's like the flavor of the month, if you will, and then they move on. So I want to see more of a variety of defenses for Caitlyn or whomever becomes the Divas champion down the road. Other matches signed for the night include The Shield taking on John Cena, Sheamus, and Ryback. And this one, I could see it obvious. I could see all these matches going either way, but this one was a little harder for me to pick. But I am going to pick The Shield. And you know, on the radio, I mentioned that possible interference from Brock Lesnar costing Ryback the victory, and then setting up a Ryback-Brock Lesnar match at WrestleMania. I don't know if I like that scenario so much anymore, because right now, logically speaking, it would be Brock Lesnar taking on Triple H at WrestleMania, but again, putting the cart before the horse, so let's kind of wait and see what happens there. But I do still think The Shield needs this victory. They've only had one match in the WWE so far, or on TV at least. I want to see these guys win. I want to see these guys succeed. WWE has the opportunity to really kind of showcase some of this NXT talent, some of these developmental indie guys, and do something big with them. And what bigger way to do that than to get a victory over your three of your top baby faces in the company. Alberto Del Rio defends the World Heavyweight Championship in a at this point, and I haven't watched SmackDown yet, a standard title defense against the Big Show. And this is kind of taking a couple steps back, as we discussed on the radio as well. You know, the first two encounters on TV with these two were last man standing matches, and now this is just a regular basic matchup. However, I do still see Alberto Del Rio walking out as the World Heavyweight Champion, which then leads into the one Elimination Chamber match of the night. 6 competitors will go for the #1 contendership and get the chance to wrestle the champion at WrestleMania. And I went back and forth. Mark Henry and Chris Jericho are the two guys that come to the top of my list. The scenario that I've worked out is that Dolph Ziggler cashes in the briefcase, gets the victory over Del Rio, and then Chris Jericho, and this may not happen in this order, Chris Jericho wins the Elimination Chamber, setting up for a Chris Jericho versus Dolph Ziggler match at WrestleMania, where Jericho officially, and I know he has lost to Ziggler before, but he officially passes the torch, so to speak, rides off into the sunset, and continues to tour with Fozzy. And finally, and I think I got all the matches, finally, The Rock defends the WWE Championship against CM Punk. If The Rock is counted out or disqualified, he loses the championship. A lot of debate on this one, and I really didn't think about it. I thought it was a no-brainer at first. I figured The Rock is going to win, which would obviously take us to WrestleMania, where John Cena has stated his intention to wrestle the WWE Champion. Now, I can see them going into a direction where we turn this into a triple threat match involving CM Punk. One idea was to do that, to get the belt back onto Punk, and then to have him lose it again at WrestleMania potentially. I don't like hot-shotting the belt that many times. And again, this is my wish list slash what I think is going to happen. While I'm not 100% thrilled that The Rock is the WWE Champion, he does bring a spotlight back onto WWE from the mainstream. And with a big movie coming out now, it only makes sense from a marketing standpoint, not necessarily a wrestling standpoint, but a marketing standpoint, to have The Rock retain the title at Elimination Chamber, go into your biggest show of the year as the champion, one of the biggest stars in Hollywood wearing your title. And I know some have drawn the comparisons, Chad specifically, to David Arquette being a celebrity and winning the title. I see somewhat, but with The Rock being an actual former champion and wrestler, I don't have as big a problem with him being the champion. My biggest problem was the fact that he was the one that ended Punk's 400-plus day title reign, where I thought somebody up and coming on the roster could have had that opportunity. This is the condensed version of what I'm thinking, so I want to know what you think. Be sure to post here on YouTube, or go to my123cents.com or the Facebook page, facebook.com/my123cents.